So, my name's Michael Keneally, and I'm doing this brief interview with Maggie Pashley here about the use of emotional freedom technique, or EFT. Maggie's already done a video saying what that is. In this video, we look about the use of EFT with difficult situations described by astrology. So they can, for example, be a difficult situation seen in our natal chart. So, for example, if the moon is in the Gandanta zone at the very end of where water sign gives way to fire sign in Vedic astrology, that means mother will not be there for you. A terrible karmic knot to deal with. For example, if a planet is square the nodal axis, that raises a special challenge in this life. So if the moon is square the nodal axis, this is Western evolutionary astrology, it means there'll be a major problem with dealing with your mothering carried over from a previous life. Predictively, emotional freedom technique is so good as well. We can be told usefully and validly that very difficult transits are heading our way or we're in them. So one such of these is Ashtama Shani, where Saturn transits through the 8th house from Moon, a recognised 2.5 year very difficult period. It's so useful to know that you're in it. And it's so useful to have ways of coping with it and indeed healing and empowering. So would you like to choose an astrological indicator, Maggie, and just show briefly how in our courses, for example, we use EFT in a group to work with that?
Well, I think one of the ways that astrology can be helpful, it can show us what scripts we've been born to work with. And as such, it can actually make us feel somehow more accepting of ourselves, of thinking, okay, it's not that I'm just particularly stupid or I can never get things right. We can accept, there is this particular difficult energy that we've been born with to work with. And with that, perhaps to look for why our soul might have chose it, really, in what ways our soul decided that this would be helpful for us on an evolutionary basis. And how I think that kind of ties in with EFT is, with EFT we're also not fighting ourselves. In fact, we're doing the very opposite. We're actually accepting things are the way they are, and yet by the tapping, creating or opening up to creating a different response to those challenges, one that is more empowering, one that is a lot less reactive, one that perhaps sees far more choices available. So perhaps picking out one of those astrological challenges that you mentioned. Let me go with the Gandanta and the mother wasn't there for you. So if mother wasn't there for us, it can make us feel that we weren't worth being there for. We can feel very unlovable, rather than seeing that was just the way it was. For whatever reason, our mother wasn't able to support us in the way that we needed supporting. And we can use EFT I'll just give you an example. So even though my mother wasn't there for me, and tune into what that means for you, what that has meant for you in your life. Did you feel that you were very lonely? Did you feel that there was something wrong with you? Did you feel invisible? Did you feel that just worthless, really. So you can actually just acknowledge those feelings while you tap. Even though I felt all these feelings inside me, because Mother wasn't there for me. My mother wasn't there for me. And I felt, and you can fill in the blanks how that made you feel. And maybe I judged myself. Maybe I felt that there was something wrong with me. Because otherwise she would have been different with me. Whatever it comes up for you as a result of that. And you keep on going. You keep on going, and it's a bit like you say whatever's going on for you out loud, just as if you're speaking to a good friend or a counsellor or somebody that you can just be open with, even though
defeated.
Yeah, even though I felt defeated. I felt whatever I did, nothing changed. Nothing changed. And I just kept knocking on that door, hoping that it would open. I kept knocking on that door, hoping it would open, hoping for a different response. Each time feeling more and more helpless. And so you can go on tapping until you actually have a sense of it just being the way it was. It might not have, it obviously was a difficult script for you to choose. But maybe you get to a point where you don't need to fight it anymore. This is what I was born into. This is what I've been working with. And how can I begin to make it different for me? How can I begin to be there for me? How can I begin to acknowledge myself? And if I looked at myself through the eyes of love, like a loving mother, what would I see? And you say what you would see. It might be you see somebody who's kind. You see somebody who keeps going against the odds. You might see somebody who's courageous. So maybe say all the things that you'd like to acknowledge about yourself, that maybe you wish your mother had seen, or maybe you wished other people had seen. And it might start out being really small, like I see I have kind eyes or something, or I am loving towards my dog. Just acknowledge the things that are worth valuing about you, and in fact everything about you is worth valuing. So just, and then maybe asking some more open-ended questions, such as even though I didn't feel supported growing up and it was tough, so we're actually acknowledging what was. I didn't feel supported and it was tough. What has that given me? What has that very difficult start given me? Maybe it's given you resilience. Maybe it's given you courage. Maybe it's given you creativity or independence. So acknowledging those things, acknowledging them, and then maybe being open to, if this Gandanta was a gift, if it was a beautiful diamond that I could polish and that I could use to strengthen myself and to shine into the world, what would that gift be? And how could I use it to the best of my ability? How am I already using it? And how could I use it to bring more into my life, to enrich me and to inspire others, and so on. So it's using something, acknowledging where you are, where you come from, and being open to what else can be. Because when we're in a problem situation, we think that's all there is. And when we open things up to what else is possible, we begin to bring in different choices, different energies that we didn't acknowledge before. So that's one way that I would use it. Yeah. And obviously it's easier when I'm working with somebody to be more precise or more direct it specifically to that person.
Yes, thank you, Maggie. So I'll just say, well, basically my astrology readings website is starwheelastrology.com. My Western astrology course is enlightenedastrologycourse.com. And my Vedic astrology course website is mastervedicastrology.com. And for those who want to look up more about EFT and all the many worldwide healings you do, Maggie, what?
MaggiePashley.com. So MaggiePashley.com. MaggiePashley.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. And, you know, we know from long experience with courses and individual work how cathartic, liberating and empowering EFT is. So thank you.
Thank you.